Poor work performance can be a serious issue, especially when you hired someone to do their job. However, what happens when the employee doesn't perform their functions? What happens when they don't match up to what you've hired them to do? How do you dismiss someone for poor work performance? Do you have a misconduct hearing? Can you just fire them? Can you dismiss them at the end of probation? The answer is contained in this video. How to discipline an employee for poor work performance. Let's start off by looking at, there are only 3 ways to dismiss an employee in South Africa. Number 1 is if they commit a misconduct. Number 2 is if they are incapacitated to perform. And number 3 is if the business retrenches them. Now, poor work performance is a form of incapacity. That's the second option. In other words, when an employee fails to perform their duties and responsibilities to the expected standard, the employee owes the business this duty by virtue of their employment contract. Now, it's important, do not have a disciplinary hearing. The reason why I say that is because disciplinary hearings are reserved for misconduct cases. For an incapacity, poor work performance, the process is different. You have to actually investigate why the employee is not performing. Let's go into the specific steps that are required to dismiss an employee for poor work performance. Step 1 is to identify the causes of the employee's poor work performance. In other words, you need to understand why the employee is not meeting the expected standards. And the way to do this is to have a meeting. Step 2, notify the employee of this meeting. And at the meeting, try and offer solutions and proposals for the employee to perform better. Step 3, give the employee a reasonable time to improve. In other words, if the employee is not performing in sales or not meeting targets or not doing the expected standard, you can't give them 2 days to improve. It has to be a reasonable time by virtue of their level of experience and what's expected of them. Step number 4, give the employee regular feedback on their performance. It's very important that you do this. Make sure that the employee understands what is expected of them and where they are falling short. It is useful to use a list of key performance indicators or their job description to work this out with the employee. The next important aspect is, as an employer, you must document this process. The reason why is if the employee challenges you at the CCMA, if you don't have the documents to prove that you consulted with the employee and you explain the process to the employee, you could actually lose the case. The next important point is that dismissal must be a last resort. What this means is that you should genuinely try to help the employee to improve. Use guidance, use counseling, use training, offer solutions to the employee, and after that, if the employee still does not improve, then you can resort to dismissal. But like I said earlier, it's very important that you document this process. If you need help in your situation, whether you are an employer or an employee, you're welcome to click on the link below and book an appointment with our office. I wish you all the best, and I'll speak to you soon.